Quick disclaimer. I'm doing this series on TikTok where I'm reading it like part by part, intro and so on and so forth. So the video seems like it's broken up, but it's not broken up. It's just I mashed it together for you guys. Hope you like it. What up, everybody? So today I'm gonna just be reading an introduction to a short story I just finished. It's called Before You Break Me, and it's ultimately about choosing yourself, because life is too short to sit around and wait for a motherfucker to choose you. What am I supposed to wait for, like, you to value me or something? If you don't see value in me, I have no value, basically. No, absolutely not. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so this is a standalone short story with 7 parts. But I plan to bring this story and my other short story, The Quietest Rebellion, together and make a full book out of it. That's what I like to do. I like to put my stories together and, mesh them into the same universe. Anyways, introduction. Before anyone ever broke her, she had already begun to disappear. Not because she was weak, not because she didn't fight hard enough, but because you can only wait to be seen for so long before your reflection forgets what it looks like. She didn't cry out. She didn't beg. She didn't throw anything across the room to be heard. No. She sat still. The kind of stillness that starts wars inside your body. The kind of stillness that looks like silence but feels like screaming without a sound. Somewhere between her second ghosted text and the 13th empty stare, she started asking smaller questions. Do I matter? If no one picks me, do I exist? And when those questions stopped getting answered, she didn't become bitter. She became clear. This isn't a story about heartbreak. This is a story about what happens before. Before the abandonment. Before the apology that never came. Before the version of her she never got to grow into was shattered into someone else's hands. This is a story of the girl who left before she was broken, who realized she didn't need to be chosen, who understood finally, devastatingly, that you don't wait for someone to value you when you were born with worth. This is the story of the ones who walked away quietly, for the ones who never got to explain themselves, for the ones who stopped waiting and picked up the pieces like weapons. Because sometimes the strongest thing you'll ever do is leave before the damage gets done. And when you do, you don't just survive, you haunt. Part 1. Probably next. This is part 1 to my new short story, Before You Break Me. I gotta make this into a series or some shit. Y'all gotta help me with the name. Yeah, maybe I'll just ask Google or something. I don't know. But if you're interested enough, help me with a name, please. Thank you. Anyways, part 1, the waitlist. The room had no windows, only names. They hovered along the walls like stars that had forgotten how to burn, faintly glowing, blinking in and out, each name tagged with a time, a code, a whisper of purpose. Every few minutes, a soft chime rang overhead, and a new name would flicker in gold. Then the golden door would open, and someone would vanish behind it. But never Sky's name. Sky sat in a still chair with the blue ticket in her hand, number 88623. She didn't know how long she'd been there. No clocks, no days, no sky. Only a low hum of fluorescent light and a rhythmic sound of people being called, chosen. There were no mirrors here. No one looked at each other. The ones who waited stared at the walls, at their hands, at nothing. Some rocked slowly. Some whispered to themselves. Some held their breath every time the chime rang. But Sky had stopped hoping 3 names ago, maybe 4. She wasn't sure when she got here or who told her to wait, but she remembered the moment she'd agreed to sit. She agreed to sit. There'd been a room, too loud, too bright, a place where she was almost enough, almost seen, almost loved. Always an option, never a choice. Sky had walked without slamming the door, hoping someone would notice. No one had. Then she found this place. Someone whispered, "They pick you here. You just have to wait for your turn." So she sat, held the ticket like it meant something. Hours passed, maybe years. Sky watched the girl with silver braids and trembling hands get called. Watched the boy with eyes like regret disappear through the golden door. Watched a woman much older than the rest sit down and begin to cry. Not loudly, not dramatically, just little shakes. Not her soul, like her soul was leaking. Nobody comforted her. The rules were unspoken. Don't speak, don't ask, don't move. Wait. Sky's body began to feel like it didn't belong to her, like it belonged to the chair. Her back ached, but the ache became familiar. Her hunger faded. She could barely remember her real name. She looked down at the ticket, 88623. Sky began to wonder what would happen if she ripped it. Not out of rebellion, but curiosity. What if she tore it in half and the world didn't end? What if there was no punishment? What if nothing happened? That was the most terrifying part. What if the room was just a trick? The chime rang again. A name lit up, not hers. A soft sob from across the aisle. Another one called. The golden door hissed open and shut. Sky felt nothing. She stood up slowly. Everyone turned to her like she had just spoken blasphemy, like standing was a threat. A robotic voice blared through the overhead speaker. "Please remain seated until selected." Sky stared at the ceiling. "I'm tired," she whispered. Nobody responded. Not the people, not the voice, not the walls. So she dropped the ticket. She didn't rip it. She let it fall from her hand like it always had been dead weight. Then Sky walked. Each step made the room flicker, like her feet were messing with the current. The floor buzzed beneath her. The golden door didn't open, but she didn't want it. She walked to the wall of names and pressed her palm on it. None of them were hers. They weren't even real. Sky took another step forward, beyond the waiting area, beyond the painted line that said "Do not cross." A quiet alarm began to ring, low, glitching, weak. The hallway beyond was dark. It smelled like wind. It smelled like memory. She walked toward it, not looking back. Behind her, the ticket laid untouched. Her name never called. Her seat never filled. And the room, for the first time in decades, stuttered. A few lights blinked out. One name vanished entirely. The system cracked because someone had left before being chosen. And now the whole place had begun to remember what that meant. Oh shit. Nah, but I hope I did well. I began to glitch out there a little, but I'll get better and better with time. To be honest, I'm real tired, and it's hard to read correctly with the camera on you, and you're tired. And so, some people just hate reading. I was one of those people, and I'm just getting into the mix of getting back into reading. So, I mean, I read, but just not out loud. I'm not in the classroom every day. I read in my fucking head. It's different. But yeah, I hope you liked it, and I'm out.